I was going through my weekly shipment when I noticed the weight was a little off. Upon reaching inside, I found a cryptic, curious case containing colorful cartoons, cacophonously caricaturing characters, curating cumulative concern. I had to know more. I opened the case to find inside a strange credit card and a book of instructions. Knowing there was disappointment ahead, I slotted it into my console to investigate further. I was instantly met with a title screen, Bravoman, not dissimilar to that of a different blue man with whom I was much more familiar. I started to put together the pieces and couldn't help but settle on a harsh realization. Bravoman was for poor people. If your parents loved you and bought you an NES, you got to play every classic Mega Man. If you were lucky enough to have a Genesis and live in Europe, you'd have gotten to play Wily Wars, a compilation of the Blue Bomber's best work. If you were unfortunate enough to be stuck with the TurboGrafx, you got Bravoman, and nothing else. The first thing we see in the game is a reject from a David Lynch film asking about what can only be the lineup to next year's Riot Fest. He then informs you, the player, now in charge of our titular character, that it's Stage 1. Upon taking control of Johnny Bravoman, you start to notice his antithetical elements immediately. His jumps, his crouch, his fists. He's literally punching his audience in the face with the fact that he isn't Mega Man. The first creature you see, menacing though he may look, advises you immediately that he is not an enemy, but a friend from planet Alpha. I can't imagine coming from an unreliable planet riddled with rust, but somehow our RoboPal managed to make it to Earth without breaking down or overheating. Speaking of breaking down, I can't help but feel like this entire game is just broken down elements from better games. With all these enemies coming out of pipes, I'd be remiss to say with absolute certainty that this isn't the Mushroom Kingdom under construction. Much like my uncle didn't when he would take me behind the tool shed at any family gathering, the first level finished much too quickly. We're greeted again by our villain, Dr. Bomb, which forces me to digress and ask why Dr. Bomb was legitimately the best name they could come up with for this villain. Either way, Bomb Boy and his bombastic broccoli bouffant set us up for Stage 2 after jerking off a little bit. The second stage, looking surprisingly similar to the first, is more of the same. I did find it strikingly strange that this Japanese telephone box felt the need to speak to me in English, let alone the fact that he spoke to me at all.
I'm sorry for assuming your gender. You're a good box, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Or something.
We soon find ourselves at the first boss, who is maybe racist? I don't know anymore. So after a quick mental powwow, I managed to scalp the first boss. We then run into our good friend, who we just met, Mr. Lottery, who gives us something that may be rice balls, but is probably just jelly donuts. Level 3. What the fuck is Twin Square? Is that really bad GameCube port of the first Metal Gear Solid? Whatever. The next level is an obligatory underwater swim session, because of course it is. The design of this level, however, reminds me of how bad I am at horizontal shooters. Hey Bravoman, is this a good level?
No.
Are you happy you were born?
No.
Does life have a purpose? What the fuck is up with these hitboxes? Seriously, I haven't seen something do this much damage from a distance since Fat Man and Little Boy. Or those planes that collapsed Building 7. I can't seem to get through this level though. Every mistake seems to be met almost instantly with this taunting death screen. Push it in? Jesus, I didn't realize foreplay was so time sensitive with you, Dr. Bomb. I can't handle this, I'm done. I don't need to play this game, and I don't need to make shitty reviews. Why not push it? Huh. You know what? Yeah. I gave up on you too easily, Bravoman. I think I will push it. I've got a lot left in me. We can do this. I'm gonna beat Twin Square. Twin Square. I can beat him. After working my way back to the water level, I was ready to fist some twins. I, however, wasn't the only one ready to maneuver a set of twins with my appendages. Seems like our old pal Squarain got the jump on me and was already balls deep in a sexual serenade with our sisterly sea serpents. Whatever, it was an easy boss, it's fine, next level. I think these enemies are supposed to be ninja, but I'm far too distracted by Bravoman's crawling to really study their outfits carefully. After reaching the boss lady, we zippity-doo our fists into her puddin' pop faster than a college athlete who's never been told no in his life. But just like me as a Boy Scout, the banging continues even as the shouts for stop echo on. And just like that, Bravoman punches women's rights back to the days of Blanche Dubois. Jumping into a box of unhung Christmas ornaments, we soon find Bravoman continuing his belligerent tirade, but now it's directed toward this sentient fire hydrant. Not too long after, I was confronted by my most difficult challenge yet. Bird. This electrostatic spewing, feathered fuck was not going to be the end of me. This platform was. Okay, now's the time for me to really push it. It's a difficult world. Oh, I forgot about life there for a minute. I mean, I guess I don't need to play this game. I guess I could just